million total impressions. KBLA Talk 1580 thanks all of our 2024 climate justice partners: LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Sierra Club, California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, LA City Council Member Curran D. Price Jr., the California Wellness Foundation, MWD, AQMD, and the Port of Los Angeles. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
First things first.
First things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. This show is called First Things First. And my first thing today and every day, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. We got a lot to talk about. It's Monday, so first things first. Monday, the way we do it. Hour 1, we look local. Hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond. In the third hour, we do a deep dive with a person of interest, a hot topic. And of course, we have our Mindful Monday segment, top of our second hour with the great Sahara Ali, getting our minds sort of balanced with a guided meditation, affirmation, and a little bit of insight. Especially in these times, I think that is extra importante. And hour 3, we are going back to our Black Marriage Mondays, okay? Yeah, because I think that we're through the election, and we're going to do Black Marriage Monday, and we are going to do Messy Monday, because we will not be neglecting our relationships during this era of MAGA. We should never be neglecting our relationships. But as activists, sometimes we're so busy keeping up with the political stuff as change makers that we forget the political is personal, the personal is political. Whoa. So yeah, we're doing that today. It's Black Marriage Monday day, and we'll have Dr. Erica Holmes of the Champions Mental Health Center inside of the Faithful Central Church. She'll be here. Oh my, she's going to give us some insights. Looking forward to that, even though I'm not married, but those of us who are aspiring to be in long-term committed relationships will also benefit from this conversation. At the moment, though, I am honored and pleased to have the council member representing the 2nd District of the City of Compton. He was sworn into office after a former council member was removed from that spot for voter fraud. Very Trumpian. Not him, but the other council member. Andre Spicer joins me. Good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. Thank you for having me. I absolutely appreciate being on this show every time you invite me on.
Yeah, well, it's great to see you, and I love that you come in here and hang out. So the folks on the YouTube live stream get to see and hear you.
That's cool, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so as council member in the City of Compton, you tell us what you, I feel like I'm channeling my Steve Harvey right now. He used to say this all the time. So you go to work and you do what?
I know, right? Honestly, every day I show up to work, and we're just looking at different ways that we can improve the city, bringing in different resources, addressing some of our long-term issues that a lot of people know that we've had, the potholes, the trees, the gang culture, the human trafficking culture, the takeovers, just addressing those major concerns in our city on a daily basis, and just trying to figure out the best solution for each of those issues. So we're doing that, and just as you know, policymakers, and just figuring out different ways again to.
Thing about potholes is potholes cost money, right?
Yes, they do.
So what's happening with that? I mean, do you feel like you guys are making progress? I remember I think the first mayor of Compton that I interviewed when I came to LA was Omar Bradley.
Oh, okay. So we go about
back.
25, 30 years almost.
We go back. Yeah. Me and the city of Compton go back. And I feel like we've been talking about it since then. And it really, I've heard different plans about how to get the money in there to make that happen.
Yeah, we're doing really well as it relates to repaving our streets. We have gotten so many streets done in the last 3 years. We have a 5-year plan to really repave every street in the city. So we're doing a lot better financially. The City of Compton is no longer running in a deficit, which is new for us because it's been maybe about 15 years since we've not run our city in a deficit. So we're doing a lot of great things in Compton, a lot of progress, and we'll be talking a lot more about it.
Yeah, you got some great things coming up.
We have some great things coming up.
Which I am looking forward to sharing throughout this conversation. I got to ask you this, though. Compton is, kind of on top of the world again right now, right? With Kendrick. I mean,
yes, we are.
Kendrick has really, not that Compton ever went away, but as far as national, international attention, and now the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Again, the Super Bowl.
So what does that feel like? What does that do for Compton? How does it resonate for you personally?
Kendrick has brought an energy of unity to the city of Compton like never before. There's been a ceasefire in the city of Compton on the streets since maybe right before the summer. So right before Not Like Us dropped, there was a lot of conversations about ceasefire. They've been having these gang intervention meetings at Pastor Rayford Owens Church. I believe it's every Tuesday. And they've getting more and more gang members and neighborhoods involved. And that has transitioned to just more peace in the community. So now when Kendrick comes and he has this song Not Like Us, and it's just a whole vibe for the city. You literally have the whole city supporting it. So when he did the video shoot, the entire city came out to the MLK monument, and it was just so much love, so much honor, so much respect amongst the black, the brown, the red, the blue, and the young and the older generation was all out there, and it just brings a sense of unity. Like I said, like none other. Like this is just a great time to be in the city, and our murders have gone down, the crime has gone down. As you know, most of our crime and murders are gang related. So with this ceasefire, the public safety aspect of things has just been phenomenal.
Yeah, it's. I think that they not Like Us, and then the whole album that dropped.
Right.
It's really giving the entire West Coast a moment. Like it's just kind of lit up the whole West Coast. So I can imagine in the city of Compton, it's got to be even more intense.
Oh, man, we
in
are
a good
excited, and then we have murals all over the place representing Kendrick.
Whacked out, not whacked out murals.
Some that are not whacked out.
Yeah, I always am happy to see the West Coast get the praise and the credit that it deserves, that we deserve, because there's so much creativity here, so much culture that does influence not just the whole country, but the whole world. And then Compton, for some reason, honestly, we have crime everywhere. We have gangs everywhere. We have economic challenges everywhere. So why do we try to define the city of Compton by that? It's never seemed fair to me.
I think we can all agree to that. It does not seem fair. It's been going on for a very long time. I want to say maybe since white flight. That's been the narrative about Compton. It's just that we can't get it right. We can't manage our own community. We can't run our own city. We can't run our own government. That's been the narrative that's been spewed for a long time. And in all honesty, like you said, there's plenty of other communities that are much worse as it relates to crime or gang activity. But for whatever reason, Compton gets the
whatever reason.
For whatever, and I haven't been sure about it myself. Like, why is that? And I travel all over the world, and people have the same viewpoints of the city of Compton.
Yeah. I mean, I have my own theories, but
what's your theory?
Well, for one thing, that's the narrative. Whenever we usually have white flight, the narrative is that they're running from something, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you have a city that's been primarily governed by black people, with some Latino, obviously, governance as well.
Right.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
I think you can go down the line and look at black-led cities now. They're even attacking the mayor of L.A. now.
Yeah.
Even though, we have great black leadership here, but we're not primarily black-led. And I think for sure media is way harder on black electeds, particularly the L.A. Times, if I'm going to call it a spade a spade.
Yeah, they are.
That's my theory.
And we're hard on ourselves as well.
Yeah.
Which I think we can be better, because we do have voices in media that we probably need to amplify a little bit more and keep things a little more balanced. I mean,
and of course, then, you got NWA and, all these voices out of Compton that sort of tell street stories, and people think it's just like when you see an earthquake on the news, people think the entire state is in rubble. Right. Or when you see, all of the Compton artists kind of amplifying their own street roots, I think it also.
Yeah, well, and really we're just telling our stories.
Right. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but that's how folks do.
Yeah.
They run with it. People probably come to Compton today looking for NWA, right?
They expect that energy. They expect the community to look like that, like it did on TV back in the 80s. And it's just not the truth. I've had people come out to Compton and like, I just want to see Compton, I want to see what it looks like. And they're in Compton the whole time and they don't even realize it. Because, the lawns are manicured.
Where does Compton start?
Where does Compton start? I thought it would be a lot more projects or a lot more poverty. And truth be told, Compton by definition is a suburb. And people don't realize that. We literally have everything we need, from water wells to railroad tracks, agricultural land, airports, college, municipal law, courthouse, police department, fire stations. Like, we literally have everything that we need. We just change the mentality. We need our mentality as running the city has been considered to be ghetto, but not the circumstances so much.
Well, that whole concept, we can talk about that more if we desire. But you've got some great effort coming up, a great campaign coming up, not a running for office kind of campaign, a community kind of campaign. So we'll talk about that when we come forward, and looking forward to getting your take on some other things going on around and about our city and our nation. 800-920-1580 if you want to join. This is always an open conversation. 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-511-2112. That's 800-511-2112. 800-511-2112.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Ray Richardson, your sports connection here at KBLA Talk 1580. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough every Saturday night at 7 for Out of Bounds, the show that brings some flavor to the world of sports for 60 minutes. We take you beyond the scores and press conferences. We give you our point of view, the way black folks see what's going down. You can join the conversation and give us your analysis at 1-800-920-1580. Out of Bounds every Saturday night at 7 on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
You like your style, though.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, your council member, City of Compton, is in the building. District 2's own Andre Spicer, and you're getting some love. Molly Bell said you're her council member, and she took a picture with you. Molly Bell got a picture with everybody. So you're in good company, council member.
Much love to Miss Molly Bell.
Right. So one of the great things that we've seen about these fires is people stepping up. I mean, I think that we don't talk enough about how people really are stepping up in the city of LA, in Altadena, Pasadena area, Palisades. And you have an initiative that you're doing in Compton, but it's for Altadena resident relief. Tell me the what, when, where, how, and most of all, the why. Because people might not, I mean, obviously Altadena is not in your district.
Right. Well, first, let me just say there's a lot of people that's doing a lot of great things as it relates to relief for residents. And it's beautiful to see how the whole county of LA has come together to be in support of all these communities that have been, that have taken some losses. But for me, I was looking at the Altadena and Pasadena area and just watching it on the news and just seeing how it wasn't getting as much coverage. And we know, historically speaking, our communities are the most affected and the last to get the resources in most cases, and sometimes get the most least resources. And I'm big on doing what we can to help out our own communities. I want to go beyond just what government can do for our communities. It's what can we do for our own communities. So I hold myself accountable, not just as a council person, but as a community member, as a leader in our community, as an activist. Is what can we all do? And so I was thinking, what would be the best approach to assisting residents? And I saw a lot of people giving out the food, the water, the clothes, diapers, and all these different resources, which I believe is great. But a lot of these residents didn't have anywhere to put these items. They didn't, a lot of things weren't being addressed, and so I figured, hey, let's see if we can partner with some nonprofits, raise some money, and put together a program. So we got with the Bridge Compton, Greater Zion, and a couple other organizations in the city, and we raised money to house 50 families. So we're going to house 50 families from the...
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, we're going to house 50 families from the Altadena and Pasadena area for a 2-week period at our hotel, the Crystal Park Casino in Compton. Within that 14 days, we'll provide residents with mental health resources, banking resources, insurance resources, just so they can get familiar or get resources for what they're dealing with today.
Right, kind of take their hands and walk them through. Because we had an event with the law offices of Bradley Gage, James Farr, and the Pasadena Community Coalition, which is led by a former Black Panther. Well, I shouldn't say former. He told me you never a former. Once a Black Panther, always
a Black Panther.
Yeah, Martin Gordon. And that's part of what they were looking at. There's so many different aspects to it. There's the whole real estate mortgage piece, the lenders, the insurance. There's legal pieces to it. How do you move forward? All of this paperwork that you got to file. So, and then as you mentioned, the mental health part as well.
Which I think is the most important part, because coming from our community, mental health and mental resources isn't something that we always take advantage of. We're all, we don't really communicate. We don't see therapists, just in general. And now that we're dealing with something like losing our whole community overnight, that's heavy to deal with. You've lost your home, you lost your car, you lost your business, you lost, schools. So many people are being displaced. There's a lot that happened within 2 or 3 days. So we have to have the mental health resource there just so we can get people in the mindset to even accept whatever resources that are available. But as you know, when you're stressed and you're dealing with things, it's hard to see tomorrow. You're trying to get through today. And so the first thing that we want to do is just bring a mental health resource there first. Then we can follow up with California Department of Insurance. You want to know, you want to talk to the commissioner and say, hey, what does my policy say? How does this read? What's my benefit? How do I hold my insurance company accountable? And so the Department of Insurance will be there. They'll be taking on questions. They'll do a workshop, and then they'll do one-on-one time with residents in the area as well.
So when you say be there, you're talking about this Project Uplift Resource Fair, which is actually February 7th. So it'll be a week from Friday?
A week from Friday.
And it's at the famous Dollar Hyde Community Center.
Famous Dollar Hyde Community Center. I'm glad you said it like that.
Yeah, well, a lot goes down at the Dollar Hyde Community Center.
It does.
So folks, anyone can show up who is impacted by the fire from out of the Altadena area?
Yeah, it's open to anybody. Obviously, we're going to put the 50 families. We want to make sure that they have access, but we're open it to everyone. So
how did you find these 50 families?
So we're working with a couple churches in the area that have direct access. So I went to go visit this one church, and I forget the name of it because I just met the pastor recently, but I met him through Pastor Fisher of Greater Zion. And they have a nice program going there where they're getting the stats, the data of who's lost their homes, how many families, people in the family, where they're located now, where they're displaced, what do they need. And so all the stats are there. And so it made it a little easier for us to address a demographic. I just didn't want to put out on social media or out in the world that, hey, we're taking on 50 families.
Right, no, because you don't know who you get, some people from Orange County, who knows what. But I think that that's important work, because what a lot of the people that are giving stuff out on the ground are finding out is that many of the folks that were impacted, that lost everything, are not in Altadena now. They're in Inglewood, Compton, LA, Fontana, Palmdale, wherever they have family or someone that's willing to take them in, or wherever they've been able to find a shelter.
Right. And I've noticed a lot of people have been taking advantage of opportunity, really, and that's what it is. Unfortunately, that's what happens. Some people will come out and take full advantage of whatever resources that are there, and it's not even meant for them. So that's why it was important for me to get with people that were boots on the ground. I'm also working with Brandon Lamar of NAACP.
Right. He's also leading that coalition of different organizations within the Altadena, Pasadena area, which is amazing. I mean, just the way the activists there have activated.
Yeah.
In particularly young people like yourself, like Brandon Lamar, and so many that I've met there.
Yeah. I think everyone's doing a wonderful job, and everyone seems to have a heart to want to help people that, and not even just people that look like them, but the communities that need the help. Everyone's stepping up in different ways. A lot of organizations in Compton are reaching out and saying, how can we help? What can we do? What can we donate? Is there time? Is it gift cards? What is it? So everybody's looking to say, what can we do to help out? I'm hoping to get the actual City of Compton to get behind this initiative. But right now we have Greater Zion and the Bridge Compton, and we raised roughly about $45,000 to house these residents for the next 2 weeks. Within that 2 weeks, we're going to have workshops. We'll have workshops centered around business finance, personal and family finance. We have the California Department of Insurance doing a workshop as well. And then we have the resource fair. And at the resource fair, we're going to have bankers there. We're going to have mental health professionals. We'll have lenders. We'll have property managers. Every resource that we can get our hands on in order to help residents get on their feet, they'll be there. And it's not just for Altadena. That's who we're focusing on. It's for everybody. Compton residents are more than welcome to come. As they know, I bring as many resources as I can for the city of Compton. They know they have access to all of this as well.
If Councilmember Spicer is there, Compton is invited.
Compton is always invited.
If you want to get in the conversation, you got a question for Councilmember Spicer or myself, or something you want to raise awareness with your KBLA delegation, you're always invited in. 800-920-1580. Right now, we've got news, traffic, and sports, and then we continue on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Senator Lindsey Graham disapproves of President Trump's pardons for January 6th rioters, calling it a bad precedent. He also criticized former President Biden for pardoning his son Hunter and commuting Leonard Peltier's sentence. Impeached South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol has been indicted on insurrection charges for allegedly leading a December insurrection and briefly imposing martial law. His trial is expected to start soon, making him the first sitting president in South Korea to face criminal charges. A DEA raid in Colorado seized drugs, weapons, and apprehended international gang members from the Venezuelan Tren de Aragua. ICE and ATF agents assisted, and about 50 undocumented immigrants were taken into custody. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints calls the Netflix series American Primeval dangerously misleading, criticizing its portrayal of Brigham Young and the Mountain Meadows Massacre. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Lowe's knows that with job site delivery as soon as same day, you can get what you need without losing valuable time. They help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes for same-day delivery. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Interesting decision made by LeBron and his son Bronny. The NBA invited LeBron and Bronny to participate in the Skills Challenge during All-Star Weekend next month, but they declined the invitation. The NBA was hoping to promote the first father and son duo to compete in the Skills Challenge. All-Star Weekend is February 14th to the 16th in San Francisco. Bronny was also invited to play with the G League All-Stars in the Shining Stars event during
1 in 3 children born today will get diabetes. This sad prediction by the Centers for Disease Control will come true if millions of Americans don't improve their lifestyles, especially by changing what they eat, how much they eat, and how active they are every day. Every 23 seconds, another American gets diabetes. Stop diabetes before it starts. To learn more, contact the American Diabetes Association or download our free diabetes education programs at learningaboutdiabetes.org.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Eyes Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
This sandwich is not just spicy, it's flavorful. Hi, this is Matayo. And this is Elsa. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick. Because the spice comes in at just the right moment. Oh, no. A little thing I love is that cilantro lime sauce. It's a fun blend of zesty and bold. That's what really makes me happy. Are you gonna eat all your fries?
Order a Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich and a Diet Dr. Pepper on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh my. So Councilmember Andre Spicer is with me. We know who Miles has in the Super Bowl because he's over here repping it up. Yeah. Even flapping his wings all for the past month or so. What about you? Who you got?
I think, you know what, since Miles is going with the Eagles, I'm going with Kansas City.
All right. I love it. I love it.
The Eagles beat my Rams last week, and
I know when I first asked the council member that, he said Rams.
Yeah, still going to say the Rams. I just envisioned us being there. I was trying to will it.
Well, maybe what you were seeing was 2026.
Okay, maybe that's what.
But when is the Super Bowl coming?
I think we're in 2027.
Okay, so maybe it was 2027 you were saying. Home game,
right back here.
Home-ish, right?
Actually, I've been to several Rams games here at SoFi Stadium. At least 7 games. I have not been to a home Rams game yet. Every time we go to SoFi, it's filled with Philly fans, Titan fans. Every time.
Well, everybody wants to come to LA. This is a tourist destination. Oh, let's go to SoFi Stadium. So it's just because we're so
where
amazing.
Where are the Rams fans? Where are our fans at?
Broke. No, I'm just kidding. Rams fans got to pay to live in LA.
Right. That's
the
why
tourists, they can come in and then fly back to their little affordable city.
That might be. That's a good point.
Rams fans got 3 jobs. We can barely watch it on TV.
Seriously. Like every time I come here, we're like the minority in our own stadium.
Yeah, I experienced that. My girlfriend took me to a game this year. It was so fun.
Yeah, they are fun.
But it was like,
what game did you go to?
Oh, Steelers.
Oh, I know it's way more Steeler fans there.
It was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always like that.
Insane. So, but do you notice the Dodgers fans traveled?
Well, yeah, Dodgers fans and Raider fans are one of the same to me. They're rowdy. They're going to show up anywhere, everywhere. They don't care if you're winning or losing.
Somehow they must have 4 jobs. Somehow they can travel.
I have no idea. Well, baseball tickets are a little more
affordable.
reasonable.
Yeah, that's true because there's more games.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is. You mentioned it. There's right now. It's a push when we want to help Altadena, Pasadena. I was out at the Pasadena church this weekend. And there is a list going around of verified GoFundMes for Black and Latino people.
I saw that.
And Brandon Lamar, who you mentioned, brought up the fact that there are some people grifting. Right? And so, and also this idea, I was interviewing this one, or listening to this one firefighter. I wasn't interviewing him. This was at the Black Lives Matter event at the Center for Black Power. He was saying they got so much Gatorade at the fire department because everybody just thought they needed Gatorade. They didn't actually need Gatorade, and now they had nowhere to put all this Gatorade. So I think you make a really good point about getting people what they actually need, which is stuff like gift cards.
Yeah.
Money. I mean, that's portable. Wherever you're staying, you can bring your money.
And I think, and I don't want to take away from anybody or take shots at anybody, but I mean, I've listened to a lot of people, and respectfully, secondhand clothes isn't what they were desiring at the time.
Right. I mean, the Goodwill is there for that. You can, if you want to offload your secondhand clothes, there's a place for that. Go to Goodwill, go to Salvation Army, even though, I would go to Goodwill if you have to choose between those two, because Salvation Army, that's another show for another day. But anyway, yeah. And you can always donate your labor if you don't have money for gift cards, right? You can go to some place like Walk Good LA, some of the churches, you can go out to the Santa Anita Parkway out there in Pasadena. That's a staging area. They need volunteers all the time.
Yes, they do. They need volunteers there. It's a few different locations in Pasadena and Altadena that they have resource centers. But again, like I said, you have the drifters that's coming in.
Well, here's the thing about that, council member. I feel like, and I feel like it's, of course, we don't want fake GoFundMes and we don't want people stealing and stuff like that. But if somebody comes up and they get free food from a place that's distributing food, if they need that food, I'm not going to be policing who's taking the food. I don't think that's right, because there are a lot of hungry people in LA. And there's a lot of people in, LA, Inglewood, Compton. And when I say LA, I mean the big LA. Right?
Yeah.
LA County.
LA County. Right.
Yeah. And
the big LA.
The big LA. Yeah, the big tent. And I think that I just don't think it's godly to be policing other people's needs.
I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you on that. And I have no rebuttal to that.
Yeah.
I have no rebuttal to that.
I mean,
if you need it,
to your point, no to the fake GoFundMe, right?
Absolutely.
No to people coming and getting stuff and reselling it.
I don't like when people just take advantage.
Yeah.
That's all. That's it. I mean, if you need it, by all means.
Plus, some people whose houses did not burn down, they lost their job. They lost their livelihood,
You know how crazy it was because when I went out there to go, visit, I would see a house burned down to the right. I mean, burned down to the ground. The one burned down to the ground on the left. There was one in the middle. Several times I've seen this. The one in the middle, not touched.
Right. But of course it's not habitable because there's toxic fumes and gas all around and smoke. And also, who wants to go live on a block where your house is the only one standing?
Yeah. And so let me tap into the reasons why I'm doing this initiative. It kind of speaks to this because a lot of these residents, they won't be able to go back to Pasadena and Altadena immediately. Some people it may take some time for people.
Years.
Right. It may take some.
I mean, Donald Trump can get up there and grandstand and say they should start in 24 hours. What is toxic? But that's BS because there's actual gas leaks. If there's asbestos or lead paint that burned up is exposed, that could actually give you cancer and you could die. So the patience part is important. It's not Democrats making you delay, no. You take your billionaire behind over there and go live in that asbestos within 24 hours. I'm good with that if that's what you want to do. But don't force that on our black residents. It needs to be properly cleaned up and rebuilt in a manner that is safe.
Yeah.
And that could take a couple of years or more.
That land is going to need to be remediated. And Compton has experience of land not being remediated. Over at Magic Johnson Park, we had a housing unit over there, a housing project that we had to shut down because it was built on toxic land. And residents were getting sick, catching cancer, having miscarriages, different things like that.
So terrible.
And so that is what it feels like to build on toxic land. So I want people to understand that this isn't something that has never happened before. This isn't something that's unfamiliar. It's important that we clean that land up before we move people back there. We know our people are struggling with cancer and diabetes and high blood pressure and all these different things. So us living on land like that, toxic land, is a problem.
Yeah. And historically, that's something that many of our communities have dealt with. Yeah. So, it can be cleaned up. I'm glad the county has stepped up and said they'll clear the debris. That's step one.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that there is work to do. But to your point, it could be a year, 2 years, 3 years. There's folks still trying to rebuild in Hawaii. The Paradise Fires, those homes are not all back. I'm from the Bay. And when it wasn't so much the fires, but that, big earthquake, some of that stuff took a decade before it came back.
And so then my question is, so what happens with those residents? How does this displacement work? Which is why I wanted to kind of rally up behind and see what we can do. Because, if we know what would happen is some people get shipped out to the IE. They'll get shipped out to San Bernardino. Everyone starts to get displaced unless the resources are here for them to relocate and rebuild in our county. So hopefully, when they come to Compton for the housing aspect and we can provide resources, hopefully they relocate to the Compton, the Carson, the Gardena area, the Inglewoods area, so that we can keep those demographics in our cities.
Come on over to Crenshaw.
Come on over to Crenshaw if that's the case, And I think that every city that has interest in keeping our demographics in LA County should play a part in helping these residents get on their feet.
That's a great point. I mean, go where your family is, go where you need to go. But if you can keep your beautiful blackness in LA County, we certainly would appreciate it.
Absolutely.
we have we're not trying to lose any more melanin.
I mean, and it takes all these cities to come together and play our role, because we all have resources. We all know, we all have different organizations and resources that we work with that can help people. Me as a council person, I know I've come across a lot of different resources. I know that we have organizations that are willing to put forth the effort. Everybody has those resources. Every elected official has those resources. Now it's, what are you going to do to help those people out? Are you not going to help them out because they're not Compton? Are you not going to help them out because they're not Gardena? They're not Inglewood? What are we going to do? Stand by and watch it?
Is that legislative gang banging?
I mean, hey,
I
whatever
know,
it takes.
I know that legislators are elected to super serve their constituents. Mm-hmm. But when you look at a regional crisis like this, it will impact everybody, because we see the Palisades folks moving a little bit south or east because they have to have housing until their places are rebuilt. Then that displaces those neighborhoods east and east and east, and it will have a ripple effect. As already rents across LA County are up 20% since the fires. That impacts everybody, every district.
So what role are you going to play? And that was the angle I was coming from when I put together this Project Uplift initiative.
So the core of it is 50 families, 2 weeks, but it's what we would call supportive housing, right? Because you get all these services, people to help you navigate the mazes of insurance and the legalities and the mental health part. Yeah. And then what happens after those 2 weeks?
So in a perfect world, we help these residents get placed in temporary housing.
Find an apartment or a house or something whether it's in Compton or elsewhere.
Yeah, anywhere in the surrounding areas. Of course, I want people to come to Compton.
Yes, why not?
Of course.
Yeah.
But whatever's comfortable for you. As long as you happen to get on your feet, I'm happy about that. So Carson can benefit from this. Gardena can benefit from this. Inglewood, L.A., Crenshaw District. All of us can benefit from this. Unfortunately, in this tragedy, we all can benefit by keeping those demographics in our communities. So that's my main goal there. At the end of this 2 weeks, hopefully, for the ones that need it, we can extend it. Hopefully, I can get the city council to approve funds to extend the stay. We'll have a discussion tomorrow during council meeting, and we'll see how the community responds and my fellow colleagues respond. And then it'll go to vote next Tuesday. So
anybody can come to council meeting.
Anybody can come to council meeting.
Like LA, just like LA. Okay, we're talking with Councilmember Andre Spicer and you on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like it.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and Brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Small businesses are the heart of America. But you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with SCORE. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
We are here with Andre Spicer, who's a council member for the 2nd District City of Compton. And aside from filling potholes and going to meetings and, attending to the City of Compton, he's also actually responding to Altadena's crisis, Altadena Eaton Canyon fire. And we're talking about it. I love your idea. Let's see if we can keep these black folks in LA County as much as possible while they rebuild, relocate, and whatever, and to open our arms to them.
Right.
I think that benefits them, and it benefits LA County and black people
As a whole.
Yeah.
As a whole.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to for the city of Compton? Like, I know you have a few things up your sleeve that you probably can't share yet, but what are the things you can share?
Well, I'll give you my vision for the city of Compton, what I like to see for Compton, and it's something I've been working on, and that's for Compton to be a tourist location. Compton has so many successful people that have come from our city, not just in entertainment or sports, but just across the board in law and in medicine, in film. And I'd like for us to start to highlight those people, highlight those accomplishments. I love to see a Compton Walk of Fame on Compton Boulevard, a star highlighting every success story, be it famous or not. I like to see, hypothetically speaking, let's just say we had a Kendrick Lamar jazz bar on Compton Boulevard and how much traffic that would get. Mm-hmm. If we had Ava DuVernay come do a film school in the city of Compton, and different things like that. And we start having Anthony Anderson come and do a comedy club in Compton. These are different things that would draw interest and tourism to our city. I think that Compton can be a tourist location. I love to see that.
I mean, you said people already come, they want to see Compton.
They do. I wish I had more to show.
Is there a tour? This is Eazy-E's old house. This is Ava DuVernay's old house.
There absolutely can be tours set up. We don't have tours now. I don't feel that we right now we don't have enough to show.
This is George H.W. Bush's old home.
You know about that. George Bush, George W. and H. Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, he's from Compton. The Ava DuVernays, the Venus and Serenas, the DeMar DeRozans. It's just, the list just can go on and on and on. We have so many representatives from the city that I would just love to highlight and just bring more awareness to. But I think it starts off for me with changing the aesthetics of Compton, changing the image of Compton. Compton's known, like you said, for the negativity, And
yeah, but isn't that changing? I mean,
it is
for local residents. I know internationally people take a long time to catch up, but in LA, you're wearing a hat. It says Compton isn't dangerous.
That's right.
I think when I first came here to LA in the 90s, that was the reputation.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of us who actually live here now,
right,
I don't think of it that way.
No, it's not that way anymore. And like I told you, we've had the ceasefire that's going on lately. One of the things that I wanted to focus on was public safety, but public safety from a preventional standpoint as opposed to a reactional standpoint, meaning I'm not looking to lock people up. I'm looking to help people get the resources that they need so they don't have to commit crimes. So next Thursday, I'm hosting my 6th resource fair. It's an expungement clinic. We've expunged over 400 residents in the city of Compton. We're going to help with the expungements. We're going to help with traffic tickets, employment, housing. This is going to take place on Thursday, February 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's at the Dollar High Community Center, the famous
Dollar High.
And this is going to be our 6th one. This is my 2nd annual resource hub, but this is my 6th expungement clinic. And what that does is just gives people opportunity. You don't realize that people can't get an apartment or a house because they have a felony, which means they're going to do what to survive? They can't get a job because they have a felony. You can be the president with 36 felonies, but you can't be a janitor with 1 felony.
Right.
So it's different things like that we want to address, supply to our residents, and help them get on their feet. And once a person gets benefits and they can go to the doctor and have no copay, it changes their whole mindset.
So you're seeing the actual results of this.
See it.
As far as the expungement clinics, you see people getting expunged and it having an impact on their life.
Absolutely. People are reaching out to me, thanking me just for the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful just to be in a position to bring that resource. And these expungements cost nothing. People ask me all the time, well, how much I got to pay? Nothing. What do you need to bring? Your ID. Bring your ID.
You can start with just your ID.
Let's just start with your ID.
Another thing that I think got a lot of attention that was changing the narrative, because I had people asking me, was the Compton Cowboys stepping up and rescuing horses during the fires.
They absolutely
Because people were like, wait, what are Compton Cowboys? There's cowboys in Compton? You don't go there? Like, there's ranches? Like, I know it's not like it probably was back in the day, but how do you not know that there's ranches in Compton?
You know, people don't see Compton to be that type of area. You know, we have Richland Farms. We have an area where there's plenty of horses. Actually, my grandmother has we just sold the house in Richland Farms. I grew up with cows, horses, pigs, sheep, geese,
in Compton.
Dogs. This is in Compton, on Bennett Street.
Yeah, what I think, you know how much the mainstream media loves animals.
Yeah.
More than they love black people. So I think that I had a lot of white friends who were just in shock that there were Compton Cowboys and that these Compton Cowboys were concerned about these horses.
Yeah.
And saved quite a number of horses.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. And not just the Compton Cowboys, but also the rancheros as well. They were also out there helping to save animals.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Compton showed up during those fires. Compton Fire Department was out there a few days, helping residents out, putting fires out. You know, Compton showed up.
Yeah,
Compton showed up.
Yep, as they often.
We always
as y'all often do. Yes, yes, indeed. Well, time flies when you're on the radio. We've got about a minute here, Councilmember. I don't know if you want to re-invite folks to your events or what you want to leave us with.
Absolutely. I just wanted everybody to know about Project Uplift. We already have 50 families. We will be housing them as of tomorrow at the LA Crystal Hotel. We have 2 full weeks of an itinerary lined up for them to help them elevate and rebuild and for their relief. But also for our local residents, the New Year, New Me Resource Hub is going to be Thursday, February 2nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is an expungement clinic. We'll have housing resources. We'll have employment resources. If you have a traffic ticket and you need to have a traffic ticket taken care of, we'll have resource for that as well as mental health resources. So please come out. It's completely free for the community, starting at 10 o'clock.
That's amazing. Councilmember Andre Spicer, thank you for coming in. It's always fun to talk with you.
Thank you for having me.
It's Mindful Monday next, and your phone calls. All that's going on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Senator Lindsey Graham disapproves of President Trump's pardons for January 6th rioters, calling it a bad precedent. He also criticized former President Biden for pardoning his son Hunter and commuting Leonard Peltier's sentence. Impeached South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol has been indicted on insurrection charges for allegedly leading a December insurrection and briefly imposing martial law. His trial is expected to start soon, making him the first sitting president in South Korea to face criminal charges. A DEA raid in Colorado seized drugs, weapons, and apprehended international gang members from the Venezuelan Tren de Aragua. ICE and ATF agents assisted, and about 50 undocumented immigrants were taken into custody. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints calls the Netflix